Mary Campbell here from Texas. On my ranch, I'm going to give you a little disclaimer because if you hear dogs, cats, cows, horses, donkeys, goats, even some wild coyotes, just disregard the noise. Um, so, anyway, here on Unleash the Medium, where every day extraordinary people like you learn to speak with spirit. Even if you don't want to learn to speak with spirit, it's good to learn these tips for your own life, for more joy, abundance, and love. And what I want to tell you is tonight we're going to pull some cards. So we'll have some callers and have your specific question so I can help answer it as best I can. And we'll do that after I give my little talk here. And so, anyway, I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you keep coming back. Because, down here in Texas, we have that Southern hospitality. So come on back. Anyway, now we're here on Unleash the Medium, like I said. So even if you don't want to learn to speak with spirit, it's good to learn some of these tips for your own life because you'll find that they'll create more joy and abundance and love. If you have any relatives or friends in the spirit world, then you probably wonder, how do I know my loved ones in spirit are okay? As a medium who talks to deceased loved ones in spirit, I am often asked this question because people worry and they might even be afraid to speak with spirit because it might be scary. And there's nothing to be scared about because spirit is all about love. And your loved ones or whether they're relatives or friends or animals, because animals come to me too, horses, dogs, cats, you name it. They are not here to scare you. So if you want to learn how to speak with spirit, you can feel that closeness and that bond and feel their love and support. So it is a good thing and you can do it. Spirits told me you can do it. So anyway, I know your loved ones are okay because I connect with your loved ones in spirit. And I also can teach you how to do it. So the big secret is out. You can connect with your loved ones. But the journey starts with gratitude. Have you ever thought about gratitude? If you're grateful for something, usually good things come your way. But it's really essential that every day you practice gratitude. And I have a really beautiful guided meditation on my website that's a free gift to you. So go to my website, marycampbell.com, that's MARI, and fill in the little form and download that wonderful guided meditation. And you will just feel so blissful after. So more about that later, but if you want to have a better life or learn to speak with spirit, you have to start with gratitude. It's the secret sauce. So then you would want to set the stage. Take your time. Oh, somebody sent me a message. Sorry about that. You'd want to set the stage because without a goal, where are you going to arrive? It's like getting in your driving somewhere and then you have no destination. So set your intention to speak with spirit. The universal law states thoughts are things. So what you think about, you bring about. So your thoughts really need to be more on the positive side, but sometimes it's hard to get there. Have you ever been on that mouse or a hamster wheel going around and around? You're like in this negative black hole and it's so hard to get it out. And that's why it's really important to use that gratitude because it will really help you. And so go get the meditation. It's free. So you've set your intention to speak with spirit. Thoughts are things. Negative thoughts bring negative results. Positive thoughts bring positive results. They're both like a magnetic pull. So what do you want to pull in your life? Something good and wonderful or some more negativity? No, you probably don't want the negativity. And you'd want to clear out the doubt because that's not going to get you anywhere. So it's if you just think of trying to connect with your loved ones as an experiment. It doesn't matter how it goes. It's just an experiment. There's no pressure on you or anything. And and sometimes people will actually have an awakening, like they'll go through a really rough patch, or they might have some kind of trauma or a near death experience, and that awakens them to spirit. But you don't have to go through that to communicate with spirit. Everybody has the capability because you all have a soul, you all have a heart, and those are the two ingredients that you need, and a little focus and discipline, and you're there. So you're going to want to listen with your heart. I mean, really go deep in your heart because universal law, like attracts like. And that means that if you want to attract your loving relatives, well, you have to be a loving person too. Um, I'm sure they would visit you if you were in a negative mode as well. But if you want to communicate, you kind of got to clean up your life a little bit. It's like dusting your house. It's nothing bad, it's just maintenance. So you want to have some maintenance in your soul because the spirit world is full of unconditional love. And you've got to have that too. You have to release the anger or bitterness or any resentment or any kind of ego driven behavior. It won't work because when you go through this process, you actually want to raise your vibration. And you do that by clearing out the clutter of all those kinds of emotions or resentments. So, but that more on that another time. But I want you to think about taking a risk to trust, to keep an open mind. Trust that spirit has your back and knows your good intentions. How many times have you looked up to the sky and talked to that loving grandparent or that loving father and either I miss you or I love you, things like that? They hear you. They're all around you. They're actually all around you, not just up there. So you can talk to them and they hear you. And trust that, it's scary sometimes trying new things, but if you put yourself out there, then you're going to get the rewards because you have to walk through that fear of the unknown when you try new things. So just do it anyway. And know that great things do come to you when you walk through fear. And have a willingness to try. What have you got to lose? Nothing. And then it's just fake it till you make it. You have to really kick in your imagination because that's really good. And think, if you think of you might have an imagination already. But if you don't, if you do things like doodling or drawing or any kind of creativity, that really helps stimulate the imagination too. And with dedication and practice, you'll get there. And realize you already have skills you don't know about. How many times have you had signs around you from your loved ones in spirit? Coins on the ground, you see rainbows or butterflies, and you just know those are your family members. Your mother, your father, your brother, your child. Those are for you, special signs. So see, you're already connecting to spirit. And love is just a huge bridge to the other side. except the other side is just a whisper away. It's not far, far away. It's just a whisper away. So let me tell you a story. Last weekend, I live in a ranch. So last weekend, I went to pick up a rescue horse, saving a horse from slaughter. And this was out of state. I live in the middle of Texas. And so I had to drive all the way up to Oklahoma, way up in Oklahoma. And Texas is big. Look on the map. It is a huge state. So it was a big, long trip. So here I am driving with this horse trailer, hauling it behind me. And I'm telling you, it was the longest trip of mishaps, sidestepped by miracles. And I'm sure you'll be able to relate to this. Unknown to me, I have been driving our empty horse trailer on the freeway with a blown out rear tire. I mean, blown out. You have to follow me on social media. I posted a photo of this tire. It's just nothing. You have to go see me on Facebook or Instagram. Anyway, on the Texas and Oklahoma freeways, you can drive fast, like 75. But don't tell my dad because I had his trailer. After a couple cars drove by us, and they're like pointing at us, and I was with my mom, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And so we pulled over off the freeway. And when I stopped and got out of the truck, oh my God, the tire was totally disintegrated. Totally disintegrated. It was just black dust all over the back of the trailer, like black soot, like from a fireplace. And the poor rubber tire was just in shreds, just in shreds. You have to go see that photo on my social media. You won't believe it. And the rim, I don't know if you know anything about blowing a tire, but if you drive on the rim, the metal little circle part, you'll ruin it. And you'll have to get a new one and a new tire. And so I'm looking at the rim going, it's not even touched. How is this possible? It's impossible, but it was possible. So as I stood there looking at what was the tire, in front of me was very shiny penny. I knew it was from my loved one in spirit telling me, I got your back. And if you reflect, I know you can recall similar stories of impossibilities in your life that were possible. And as a medium, I can point that out to you, but you can also discover them for yourself. You know, how many times have you felt your loved ones maybe smelled cigarette smoke or pipe smoke or special perfume or something like that? And you're like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of my dad, my mom, my sister, my brother. So your loved ones are just waiting for you to reach out. They're all around you. And before we take my calls, I want to mention definitely follow me on social media. I love to post photos. And I post some good words too. So go see that blown out tire. And remember to go to my website, marycampbell.com, and download that free guided gratitude meditation. It's only 15 minutes. You don't even have to think, no skills. And I'm telling you, you are going to love it. Oh, and I have a special for you. If you want a private session, a reading, 30-minute private session, go to my website, book it within 48 hours. That just means schedule it and get the special, which is the code is A1R. Should be pretty simple. A1R radio. So there's your $50 off. And let's pull some cards and take some calls. Here we have Colleen in Tomball, Texas. All right, we got some Texas.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Can
I
you hear
can.
me?
Yeah, there you go. Hi, Colleen. How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm great. What can I help you with?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really sure, but as I was listening to um, the radio when you were just telling the story, my uncle just recently died, and I don't know. I really, it's hard. I
Oh,
don't know. I mean, and we feel him around us, but I mean, it was very unexpected, and we were very close, and it's really sucks.
I
I don't
know.
know.
It's really, was this like really, really recent?
Yes,
Like how long ago?
within 2 weeks ago, Monday.
Oh gosh. I'm really sorry to hear that because the grief process does take a while, but I want you to know that when when people transition to the other side, it is really all about love. Love. There's family to meet them. Um, you don't have to worry if he was sick or anything like that, any kind of pains or disabilities. None of that goes on over there. Um, so I want you to trust that he's okay. I can feel your sadness in your tears. Um, but it's almost like I feel like your uncle is looking down, smiling. I feel like this uncle of yours, I just see the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like such a big smile that I feel like his eyes twinkled. Um,
yeah,
yeah, and he's such a compassionate man, and um, he makes me feel like he's just so kind, and
yes,
and and right now I just feel like he's kind of a quiet man, but I do feel like he did like to laugh too. So
oh yeah,
he did have a sense of
yeah,
humor, and he would like to do funny little things like that, to get kind of like a little rise out of you.
yeah,
Do you understand? Yeah. So
yeah,
as nice and wonderful and all that, he was a little teeny trickster as well. Um, but but the kindest eyes, I just can't get over the kindest eyes and the most
yeah,
beautiful smile. And I feel like his eyes and his smile just it's almost like a laser of love would go right through you. And he's
yeah.
sending that down now to you and your family. And I feel like, did he have a wife he left behind?
Yes, and children. His youngest was 16,
And what? Pardon me?
and his youngest son was 16, and he had two daughters. And
Yeah.
I know he didn't want to leave his wife and his son. You know, he was worried about how they would, make it. And
I feel
then,
like he's still gonna try and watch over them and
yeah,
definitely tell her that he's come
uh huh,
through and he's okay. Nothing's wrong with him. And
okay,
and he's sorry that he had to leave, but we all come here with a soul plan. And sometimes when we have to leave, it's not really when you want to leave, when you have
uh
such a
huh,
beautiful family, but it's kind of like it's our time to go. And
yeah,
and I did he makes me feel like he smoked. Did he smoke?
yes,
Yeah,
he
because
did.
it feels like he smoked a lot of cigarettes. It makes
Yeah,
me feel
probably.
like. And
Yeah.
and I feel like he would even probably like to, have a little cold beer too.
Oh yeah, he'd sit on his back porch and
For
drink
some
his
fun.
Bud Light and smoke his cigarettes and play his radio.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I could see, like, you know, the beer can and then the hand, like, crushing it, and then going and getting
Totally.
another one, and then going and getting another one. And I do feel like he did have an attitude of life is great, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but I
Yes.
do feel like he had some political grumblings and
Oh
things
God.
like that. We won't mention names,
That's so funny
but
you say that.
yeah, and I bet he's up there cheering for you know who, um,
Yes.
and flying the flags and doing all that.
Yes. Oh my
But
God, that's so true.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I can just see
Yeah.
him now, and so even though he's
Wow.
only just passed a couple of weeks, I'm so glad he came through for you because
Yeah.
know, people say, "Oh, you have to wait." Well, I personally don't believe you have to wait. Spirit comes through,
Yeah.
spirit people, because they're people. They're not energy. They're actual, real people. They come through when they want to come through. If it's a minute later
Yeah.
or 2 weeks, and and I just know he knew that you needed to hear from him because I feel like you and him had some kind of tricky little thing with each other, joke wise. Um,
Yeah. Well,
and
we're
and
only
and what?
5 months apart, so we grew up together. So.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like he also played cards. Did he play cards
Um,
like with the guys?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But I
I
don't
feel
know if
like
we had lately.
yeah, I feel like he might have played cards. Oh my gosh, my time is running out, Colleen.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I I'm so glad he came through for you and know that he's fine and go get my gratitude meditation. That'll kind of calm you down. And but it does take
Okay.
time to care for your loved ones. So give yourself the time and your family and know that
Okay.
he's doing great. So don't worry about
Okay.
it.
Can
And you
I
all
go
good
back and
there?
listen to this? What?
What?
Um,
What?
I wonder if I could go back and listen to this segment.
Oh yeah, record it and put it on YouTube, I believe, or on their
Okay.
website.
Okay.
Okay. And
Thank
and
you.
don't forget, you people, if you want to book a reading, go to marycampbell.com. The private session, $50 off if you use the code A1R. And thank you for being with me tonight. It went too
Thank
fast.
you.
Happy trails, people. Come back next week. See me in Texas.